Hello. Welcome back to Tifosi Time. This is episode 101 of your favorite Serie A podcast. Always delighting you with this week's Serie A soccer action, and not to mention our just wonderful wit and personalities. So we're coming to you live 9 p.m. I think we're on Twitch. We may not be on YouTube. I don't know what we're doing now.
We will be on YouTube after.
Okay,
it'll be uploaded after.
All right. So those of you could also listen to us on podcast. Like, subscribe, tell your friends. All right, fellas, say hello.
Hey.
Hi.
Hi.
All right. Well, I'm one step closer to quitting liking soccer. Thank God the Knicks are starting soon. So who wants to kick us off? What do we want to talk about this week?
I think we save Juventus because we've been starting with them, but let's save them because you know you're going to spend the most time on there. So why don't we talk about the game of the week first? You want to talk about the Milan-Napoli game?
Sure.
Yes.
Which I don't even have the card in front of me.
I do. Napoli won 2-1 versus Milan. Goals by Politano, penalty shot, Simeone in the 78th. Giroud scored in the 69th.
So a lot to unpack in this game. First of all, the penalty shot that Napoli got. People had issues with the actual penalty getting called. What did you guys think? If you don't know, it was a penalty, right? Like, so to me, it was a penalty too. I don't know why people were complaining so much about it. Dest took out the Georgian kid, and it was a penalty in my eyes.
Yeah.
So, but
it was.
People were making.
Who were complaining? No Milan fans?
No, nobody complained.
No, people were complaining. I heard people complaining, at least on Twitter. But again, Twitter is stupid. And Reddit is known for people complaining. But yes, it was a penalty in my eyes. The interesting thing is that Zielinski's been missing some penalty shots, so Politano took it, and he actually took a midweek penalty too in their league.
It should have been saved. I'll say that about that.
Yeah. So that was the big thing. Like Magnan, who saves everything, guesses the right way, and the ball goes underneath like his belly. Like you just expect him to gobble that up.
Really quick, can we pause for a second? Because we have a comment in the chat. Grendelk is asking for Pietro. Pietro is here. His camera is not working. So Pietro, you have a fan.
Yeah,
Thank you.
He's the disembodied voice.
Yeah. Actually, I might go that route if Juventus plays any more the way. I might just never come on camera again.
Yeah.
So he's here.
So yeah, but Magnan, bad from him. He makes one of the few mistakes I've seen him make in 2 years. Magnan, on the penalty shot.
That's his penalty becomes stupid. People nowadays to score, they have to kick in the middle. You know what I mean? That wasn't in the middle. Just a person.
It was savable.
It was a good shot. That's what
but what's savable? Everything is savable. There was a penalty, I think, against Juventus too. If Perini would have stayed still, they would have got it, right?
Yeah. Listen, people take bad penalty shots.
They don't expect people to throw in the middle.
He dove over the ball.
Yeah, and I think the whole thing is he dove right over the ball. If he would have just went down faster, he would have easily saved it.
So maybe the shot was too strong. You know what I mean? And he didn't make any time to
he wasn't expecting it. Yeah. So things from me on the Milan side, because yes, they lost this game. Yes, they were home. They lost to another. To me, these are the two teams that are going to be challenging for the title. I don't even consider Inter, Juventus to even be anywhere near that. So to lose 2-1 to this team, but if you're a Milan fan, like I'm confident in the way they played, even without Leao.
I think they outplayed.
Yeah, but
that's what I'm saying. They outplayed.
Usually, the Milan goalie Magnan saved them. This time it was Meret that saved them.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Because we always brag on Meret. Moret had a really good game.
We don't rag on Moret. When
Moret does not get a lot of love from people.
Actually, I said that in the middle of the game. I said after he made that nice save, I was like, he was close. Moret's like the goalie who no team ever wants to commit to him as the number one. Like no matter who's on the team, he's either the backup or he's temporarily the starter, and they're looking for another guy to get.
Yeah, I mean, even this summer, Navas was being
Meret, unlike Donnarumma, Meret never had the trust from the coach.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's what we're saying.
And with Donnarumma, Mihalovic, they got him at 16 years old, and they put him there. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. He should get some credit because he played really, really well. And like I said, if I'm a Milan fan, yes, you lost, but I'm not nervous about my team that we're going to go on a slide, that we're going to, have issues. They're still a very good team. The goal from Simeone, I mean, he started the play holding the ball up and passing it backwards. To me, nobody tracked him back into the box, and he had an open header where, Tomori didn't pick him up, the midfielders didn't come back, and it was a nice shot. It was not savable.
See, what they say about Milan, they scored too many goals on them. As a matter of fact, they criticize a little bit to tomorrow. It's not last year.
Yeah, their center defense has been a little.
Some people criticize Pioli too because he started Kaya and not Carlo.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Kaya was like one of their most important players last year until he got
hurt.
But Kalulu's been
Napoli awesome. Napoli has the first attacker, right?
Mm-hmm.
You need the Carlo. Yeah,
but Osman wasn't playing. He's like their fastest man.
No, there's still Raspadori and
And Giroud was hard to Giroud on the other end set up actually Kalulu. I think he set up Kalulu at the end of the game, or where Kalulu hit the post. I forgot who crossed it to him. He hit the crossbar, which you don't expect your center defender to be there at the 80-something minute to hit the crossbar.
My biggest takeaway from this game was that both teams played up to the level of the game that people expected. It was a good game.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It was two teams that actually played. It was flowing. It was back and forth. It was competitive. It was everything you want two good teams to play.
Like you say, according to the game, the whole two teams that played the championship, they are to Milan.
Yeah, they're the two.
I see Milan a little bit ahead.
I still have my doubts in the sense that we're 10 games in. Or how many games in are we?
No, it's only 7. It's only 7 games.
7 games in. So, my thing is...
don't count Juventus.
No. I'm saying...
You're saying 7 games in, you still don't believe in Napoli?
No, I'm not saying... I'm saying that I think they're clearly the two best teams right now. Mm-hmm. But I also think it's just like Atalanta and Udinese. All these teams are going to have their spell. Where they're gonna fall for. It's just a matter of how many games they fall for. Is it 3 games or is it 9 games?
Now you think Atalanta, Udinese, they cannot go to.
Yeah, they're not on the same level.
In chat, Grendel's asking about Monza. We're gonna get to Monza in a second, but he's saying Napoli, Atalanta, Rome will be this year's contenders, and Udinese will be the big surprise. Juventus will be an upset again. Juventus sucks. We'll get to them.
Yeah, and we're Juventus fans. We can.
Milan didn't have a skid all last season. They didn't have a long losing streak. I don't see them having another long losing streak. This season they'll lose maybe 2 or 3 max in a row where they don't pick up wins, but they've stayed on track.
It's more on Napoli, to be honest with you, because at least Milan won. Like Napoli, don't forget, the last 2 years was an opportunity for them too, and they didn't even come in fourth.
The last 5 years they choked
especially
at points,
the last 2, right? So
now they criticize a little bit Pioli is which Calabria, but the reason is because he had some injury.
I was going to say Calabria went out with an injury. That's why.
And now Hernandez too. Maybe there's this issue.
They called him back.
Yeah, they have it.
He doesn't have those tweets,
Yeah.
No, they make a difference for them for sure.
So you have to remember they lost Florenzi already. If you lose Calabria for a little bit, you lose Theo Hernandez for a little bit. What do you have? You have Dest and who? Well, they're Kalulu.
And Dest is not the same level as those guys.
No, maybe you put Kalulu at the right back and Dest at the left back, and they can play a little bit. But I'm
saying the Calabria before he got hurt. Do you see how much running he did up and down both sides of the field?
Like Theo Hernandez too.
That's what I'm saying. Those two guys are like having Spinazzola, right? Gosens, like they make a difference, a big time difference.
Frank, that's they say it's the best game. It's Milan play the best game. It's if you notice, they have the fullback Calabria, Hernandez. They play up, so they have confidence tomorrow at Calo. They're good at the goalie because the goalie he can play as a sweeper too. You know what I mean?
It makes
So
it
they
easier
have
for
to,
you to take
so
risks.
doing that to Milan to get the midfield all the time.
Yeah, because they
They
can
play
put
hard.
I think it's not as much as
Which compared to us, we never get to the middle.
but I think for us, it's not so much that they trust their center fullbacks and their goalie more than we trust ours, because I think there's not a difference there. Perrin is
you
good.
mean Juventus.
Yeah, Juventus. I think it's because our midfield is not able to cover the defense, and they get stretched,
No, but you
and
see,
we can't control the ball. Is why
Greg,
the difference.
you see, the way we play Juventus, right? We not play up. So there's going to be a distance between defense
Yeah,
and
that's what I mean.
forward and midfield. They don't play close because if the defense would have
But
gone
this will
out,
happen.
they would have been closer to each other.
All right, time out. Take a break for a second. Irishman in chat says, guys, I told you a year ago that Verde is going to Juve, and Pietro was laughing at me. And this summer he was close next time. Listen to me. So he called for Verde to go to Juventus.
Why not? We'll take anybody.
Verde would help. He would help Juventus. So I'm not even gonna.
The bar is so low for Juventus. Me, you, us four would help Juventus. That's how okay, well, back to Milan and Napoli game. Overall, I mean, I thought it was an entertaining game, a game worthy of 245 and two top teams.
Yeah, lived up to it.
I wish Leao and Osimhen were in the game. To be honest with you, I think that would have made it even better.
For sure, yeah.
But overall, I mean, Milan, I think deserved a little bit better than the score.
But these are the games you win.
Yeah.
You win versus a top team where you're outplayed, outshot. And all that. Like that's why Napoli it feels a little different this year with what they're doing. And a lot of these people are new and they don't have those old feelings where Napoli is like, oh, we're gonna blow it. They don't know any of that. They're new. So
they're young.
Yeah, fortunate this year, it's there is not the rule that if two teams get to the same place, it's the one that win the game. They took away that thing.
So what is it now? They play a game versus
How
each
they
other?
going to do another game?
Yeah,
that's better. Better.
It's definitely for the drama and it's more exciting.
Yeah, that's way better.
For Napoli, it's like, damn, we won the game.
Is that just for the top spots or any of the spots? Like if you came in fourth,
it's just the top spot. Yeah.
Should be any of them. Like if you're.
But
fourth.
how amazing would that be? After 38 weeks, you have one game.
Yeah,
the top two teams.
That'd be great.
Before there was the rule that if let's say Juventus would have won with the Milan, they would be a champion.
Yeah.
Or vice versa.
I think it's so much better this way.
Yeah, I think it's better. If it ever happens, it's so hard for it to happen.
Two teams get to them.
Yeah.
Because if I can get a third game of Napoli versus Milan, I'll take it.
Listen, a lot has to happen for two teams to end up number one with the same points.
Well, the way it is right now, everything's so close, it might happen.
Hey guys,
but it's so early.
Nevertheless, we say Napoli and Milan they look better, right? But we cannot say definitely they're going to beat them because during the championship things change.
Yeah, of course there can be injuries.
If I can say, I don't think so because the whole hope for us Juventus is to take Allegri out. The whole hope, but with Allegri we never get to no play.
Clinging on to the hope.
Putin chat says Juve losing to Monza is the highlight of my week. I agree.
All right. Do you
I just turned my light on 8 minutes into the show. That's good.
Real professional, guys. What the hell?
Totally forgot about it.
Usually I'm the one to get yelled at for that. Let's go to the game that made me happy this week, the Udinese Inter game.
Mm-hmm.
So if you didn't see, Udinese beat Inter 3-1 after being down when Barella hit a free kick, a really nice goal. But if anyone watched this game, you saw Udinese just take it to them.
But
Go ahead.
I told you I was about to call Chris to say I want nothing for Inter. Bet to the Nest. They're gonna win.
I bet on
I
him before the
knew.
game.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
knew they would win.
even last week when we made our predictions, a lot of us picked Udinese over Inter just because how bad Inter's been playing and how good Udinese has been playing. So this is their best
I'm
start
mad because
ever.
my score was almost correct. I needed bonus points, but that third goal screwed me.
This is their best start ever, by the way. Udinese. They 16 points in the first 7 games, tied for their best start ever. And they're doing it with players that you've never even heard of. So maybe that.
No, you know what's great about their team? They're doing it with average players that are getting more than they're worth. Let's be real.
Hey, you know one more thing? Today I saw about the coach, right? So till you know how much you make?
Nothing.
$300,000 a year.
He was asked for his coach last year
300,000
in the second division, where they were predicted to fight for relegation, and he had him in the playoff last year. That's how good he did.
Yeah, well, so Teal's quickly making a little name for himself, right? Because I mean, he makes 30 times less than Allegri.
3,000.
So 30 times less a year. But the thing is, I mean, that's the difference of like having a coach. It was why we always praise Atalanta Gasparini, right? Like why we like Italiano. Well, we like coaches that get more out of their roster.
Yeah, but
less.
another thing is, Frank, about this, right? About the coach. If you went Juventus, let's take Juventus that spend so much money, right? For Di Maria, Pogba, a company, right? And then you have a play like that. And then you compare, in comparison with the Udinese, that's a coach that make 300,000 euro.
It's a joke.
All the player, they all want know, they all know maybe F. F is the Delaware.
Delafeo is basically the only
Which they
player
all want to know.
that you've heard of. Like not heard of.
Play like that. You see them playing like beautiful like that. What do you say?
They play as a team.
Good,
they fight for
but
each
they
other.
know to get the people too. I don't know.
Yeah, they know what they're doing. It's a different.
Well, there was a lot of years where Udinese was the team before Atalanta was the team, where they were continuously finding players from nowhere.
Listen, they made it to the Champions League one year. Like they got 4th place. So,
but that was a lot of years ago where they were, and then they kind of fell off. But the point is, that's exactly the point. Like you don't win because you have the.
What do you say about that? What do you say? Not the point. What do you say about that? Why?
I was about to say.
No, why we suck? Juventus suck.
I just want to let's start. I just want to say something about
the player. All right, the player. The Juventus Agnella company wants to get the player that already want. So why we play like that?
Well, I was going to say that it has nothing to do with the names of the players or how much the coach makes. In the end of the day, I really do believe it comes down to the motivation of the team, how well they're positioned on the field, the tactics, how much they buy in, right? Like how motivated they are. If you put those qualities together with a bunch of no-name guys, they're going to beat 11 champions who are giving 75% of the time and act like they never played together before, like every single time. There's
so many variables that go into every team. Every team has to consider every variable that it's impossible to pinpoint one, but the good teams are the ones who account for each one of the variables and put people in places that are going to be successful.
But that's what, to me, a good coach is, right? A good coach is the one, no matter who the roster is, he figures out to find to find the best group together, right? To motivate them each, to make them get their best every year. We don't have any of that.
But Allegri, he doesn't give a game into these people. Plus, I think he forgot how to talk, communicate with people. He blame on the player. He never blame on himself.
We'll talk.
The last thing I say, they mention Locatelli. Say, but Locatelli is a reserve. Why you talk like that?
We'll spend time on him and his stupid comments, but let's finish up because we didn't even mention Inter in this game. As far as
you think Inzaghi is going to start getting some.
I mean, he has to be
pressure.
Already.
Inzaghi is confused more than Allegri.
No, that's impossible. No. Definitely not more than Allegri.
I mean, Inzaghi, he's making some questionable things.
You see the first two substitutions.
I thought it was because both those guys had yellow cards.
He made this substitution because they had yellow card.
But that's what. But if you know Inzaghi, that's his game. He always does that. If you have a yellow card, you're coming out because he doesn't want to get red cards. He's been doing that his entire life.
He was in the first half, 30 minutes.
Yes, and he does that all the time.
1 minute before Bastoni for most of the score, if you was enough for the goalie, he would save, he would have scored.
Still rather have this coach than.
And you don't take it. Two of you go play. We go start.
But even his starting,
because they had yellow card.
Like I get it that he signed to Cherby as like a backup, but like, why is I know your defense isn't playing good. Why is this guy starting in the center of your defense? Cherby's past it. Like, why?
You know, in Saga, how many change did on the defense Sunday? Just on Sunday, D'Ambrosio, the right, Cherby out.
And then you have one of the most skilled fullbacks in the league not being able to touch the field more than 20 minutes a game. Like Gosens, what's going on there?
Something's happening there. Obviously, something's going on.
Yeah, but I'm saying he tries everything except for that. Like, can the guy get a second start?
Another thing I cannot understand. They blame Brozovic. Next week is going to be disqualified, right? Five yellow cards. But you bought Aslan, and you say it's appropriate to switch to change with Brozovic. He never played yet. He didn't play yet.
He's good, that kid, Aslani.
He's gonna have to play.
And that's crazy that Brozovic has 5 yellow cards in 7 games. Like, what the hell, man? Have some control. Like that's like me playing back in the day. But yeah, this is another poor performance from Inter. They did win their Champions League game against a crap team in the middle of the week, but it wasn't like.
Yeah, this game made me happy though.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
To Inzaghi, they contest. You know, he doesn't know how to do the change. They did the substitution.
Yeah, but to be fair, we criticize coaches all the time on their subs. It's not just Inzaghi.
Oh yeah, very few.
Yeah, but when you see open mistake, you know.
Yeah, well, Allegri does the same shit.
You see, because two of your starters had the yellow card, you take them out in the beginning.
How many times do we have to see Kane come in the 70th minute?
Yeah, but who else does he have though? With Inzaghi, at least it's like he's got tons of options, so he's making the bad mistakes.
Oh no, we can rip Allegri. Trust me.
No, but I know, but Allegri, like his wingers, what else does he have? You know, like he's got the 2 people. He could put Kane or Sole, who 2 considered young players, and he goes with Kane every time.
Yeah, well, there you go.
I don't agree, but I'm saying Inzaghi's options are more than that.
Yeah, Inzaghi's options are more. You know,
I read for Juventus, I read the part something about who for the player who's with Agnelli, who Allegri who is against. And they say the young people there with Daniela. That's wrong.
Yeah,
I don't think the young people there.
Where are they getting that information
who are they
from?
getting that information
like,
from?
You can't trust that stuff. Are they in the locker room with them, asking them, "Hey, do you like the coach or not?" No, they don't ask that shit.
Bonucci was out. Bonucci was out because that time with Benfica say we don't play. We play 15 minutes and then we drop. Well, you say what's it true, no?
Yeah, I guess we'll switch to the Juventus games since I'm sure you guys have a lot to talk about and comments. If for those who didn't know or didn't see, Monza beat Juventus 1-0, which Chris and Frankie both predicted that Monza would beat Juventus last week. So good job, guys.
Yeah,
I did.
I think Frankie definitely did.
I definitely did.
I said 3-0. No.
You said 3-0 Juventus, so good job by you.
No, because I was expecting some reaction. Come on.
Yeah, I'm not.
Well, so who wants to start? Because we can go around the horn. Who wants to start? So
let's just describe the game real quick, and then you guys give your opinions on what happened. So for people who didn't see, Di Maria, who's been, to me, a disaster this year, gets a red card in the 40th minute. Before that, by the way, Juventus was doing jack shit in the game.
Yeah,
they did absolutely nothing. So, and some people were saying, was that a red card from Di Maria? Yes, he elbowed intentionally into the chest of somebody.
I hate to tell you, that's a red card.
Something. Let me tell you, Di Maria made a mistake because he reacted, right?
Yeah.
But before the reaction, 1 minute before there was a semi-foul on him, and the referee didn't.
I don't care. He's
Doesn't
an
mean
idiot.
shit. Dude,
He's an idiot.
that's a
Same
red card,
guy.
and that's multiple games.
Yeah, I
suspended.
agree with you,
Like,
Chris. He could get multiple games.
I would suspend him more than that too,
Yeah.
because that was very dangerous what he did.
That was
With,
bad.
with
The only reason people are not saying it's that bad is because he didn't catch the guy square in the face, right?
Yeah,
he hit him in
shit.
the stomach. If he would have done the same thing and hit him in the nose or the face,
he would have broke his nose.
yeah, there would have been broken nose, bloody eye, you know.
Yeah. So to me, that was a straight red card, and
No, but the ref at that time, 1 minute before they did the nothing.
I get it. Yeah, refs miss stuff, but that you can't.
No,
miss.
and
He's breaking up.
He's breaking up. Yeah, I can't hear him. But anyway, to continue with the game, Juventus wasn't doing anything really before that. They didn't do anything much after that. I mean, Vlahovic barely touched the ball. He had one shot, a one-timer fading away that went to the outside of the net, didn't even go on target.
I think they had one shot on net, didn't they? The header.
Well, at the end of the game,
the best Juventus player was Rovella.
the best Juventus player was Rovella. He was waiting to
the one you would give away,
and
Levi.
He was playing for Monza, and then they're down a man the whole game, and you can still play like that versus Monza. Like they're not they're not world beaters. And then you have a slip up in D where you fall asleep a little bit. There's a through ball, and you get beaten your post, and you're down 1-0.
So let me jump in because I think you described it well, right? So ultimately, Juventus had no legitimate chances to score except for one header that went to Kane where he was wide open and he passed it right to the goalie with his head.
No power.
No power, no directions.
Not marked too. Like he could have unmarked. Done more.
And that was when they were down 1-0 already. But in terms of the game, Juventus did not control the ball, did not control the play. Monza had more of the ball. Monza had more attempts on goal, right? Perin made nothing amazing, but he made consistent saves, managed his box, whatever it was.
Yeah, it was
nothing great.
Crazy.
I literally got to the and this is true. You guys vouch for me. Monza was up 1-0, right? With when we were down a man. And I said, I expected more from Monza because that's how little.
Well, I think you said, and I was noticing, Caprari probably played the worst game of his life.
Worst game I've ever seen him play. Yeah, worst game ever. It's a great point. We said that, right? Not one touch did he get right.
He played terrible.
With all that being said, they were able to get their first ever win in Serie A versus Juventus. So that'll ever be in history. That's good.
I would say that if Alonso was the last team, and the Gregorio was the best of the months, all the remaining game. Although they lose all the time, he was the. What people with Juventus probably he didn't touch the ball.
I know.
No, it's true. De Gregorio was like every week he was making like 4 or 5 amazing saves. He did not make a save versus Juventus.
He didn't touch the ball.
Juventus would have lost if they had 12 players, let alone 10. That's how bad they are.
To me, the 10 players means nothing because if you're playing good, you win anyway.
That's
right?
what I'm saying. So the other big point, and this is something that Daddy was saying all weekend, he had a big issue with the formation because you see during the Champions League, Allegri will go to 3 in the back, and then he reverts back to the 4 in the back. When the 4 in the back, you have no fullbacks, first of all. So, and you can have Bonucci in the middle as a presence to pass the ball a little bit more and all that. So the formation itself, to me, against a team that's not good, you could play with 3 in the back and have a little more attack, with stronger in the midfield. So that's a mistake.
Well, yeah, and for those of you guys that didn't see, like I went off on a little mini rant before the Monza game. So if you guys haven't checked out the YouTube channel, you can go watch my little 7-minute rant. But that was part of that rant of why Allegri should be fired was there's a million. The list is long. There's 100 reasons, right? But like what you're saying is Dan. One of the things you're saying is he has no problem. Like when he changes players or formation in the middle of the game, they don't know what's happening. There's not like a well-oiled machine that knows what's going on. It's just confusion on top of confusion. Whether they go from 3 to 4 in the back, it's just more confusion. It's like, do you practice any of this stuff, or do you just do it in the middle of the game and players are like, what are we doing now? We're playing 4 at the back, 5 at the back. I don't know.
And then you see from there, when I saw Bonucci out, right? I say maybe he start to think like me. He start to retreat defense. Put on the right, Bremen in the middle, the way he used to play with Torino,
Yeah, and then
and,
Danilo.
and Danilo on the left.
Yeah.
And then I see that. Then I see the Shigo too.
Yeah. It's like I didn't even realize the Sheila was playing the whole game. Like that's how.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
how.
what do you put it? I don't know.
Can someone tell me why Paredes was brought in? He's awful.
Well,
Yeah,
I
but
think,
that's all the team is sack, Chris.
Yeah, I think he's particularly awful because the team sucks. But to my point, again,
You
on
could
the
have
list.
saved money though and just kept Ravella.
Well, listen, this is what we were saying the entire time. There's so many reasons I hate Allegri and I hate the management that listens to him because he had to have Pogba. He had to have Di Maria because they're old and they have experience. Well, we said they're going to be overpaid, undermotivated, and probably get hurt. And that has already happened. You could have played Ravella. Right? No, you decide, I don't really need Ravella. Like, loan him out for nothing. They didn't make any money, and he was the best player on the field, and it wasn't the first time, right? Ravella could have easily played Paredes' role. It took him, let's face it took him a miracle the fact that Moretti's actually starting. Right?
I think he was forced into that.
Forced into it because Rabiot got hurt. They couldn't sell Rabiot because he didn't have the balls to tell the management, I don't need this guy. Tell his mom that either he goes to the new team or he's going to miss the World Cup because I'm never playing him. No, so we keep him. We don't even make the $15 million, and we can't. With the midfield should be Ravella, Moretti, Fagioli, Locatelli. Some combination of those guys should be over and over again. But instead, it's just the list is too long. I mean, it's too long.
Fagioli, what he play? 5 minutes?
Yeah, he played last 5 minutes.
He never played Fagioli and Miretti together. Never.
Yeah, I would like to see that once.
Yeah. No, I mean, even the subs he made this game, I'm trying to play him back in my head. I remember.
To be fair, he wasn't coaching this game.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah,
he was
but
coaching
he's still still
I'm
coaching.
kidding, obviously.
And let's not forget, this is Monza, who's in last place, who just fired their coach because they can't get a win. They suck ass.
They've never won a game in Serie A before, ever in the history of the team. This was their first one.
Don't give it the credit to Palladino because of the Monza.
No.
Yeah, I heard people giving Palladino credit because he don't get at
No,
it.
This will be one of 3 wins that they get all year.
He say it's I didn't do anything.
He didn't do anything.
He
gave them the win.
I mean, I think we went through the team, right? There was not one savable player on Juventus. Was there one
this week?
Yeah, from this week.
McKennie was the only one who showed you heart and hustle. And
so McKennie, perfect example because Dom said the same thing. He goes, "Oh well, at least McKennie runs." Yes,
I'm not saying he played good, but I'm saying he's the only one.
Yes, he runs right, but this is the problem when you have McKennie. McKennie is not a highly technical player, right? He doesn't have a ton of skill, but what he does is a lot of heart, a lot of will. He runs, right? And if you put him in a zone of the field where he's moving in the context of a team, he can help you win balls. He can help recover. He can help hit the space, right? He can do just enough, not to mess up and add. The way Juventus plays, he presses by himself.
Yeah.
No one presses with him. So you see him running around because he doesn't have the best game IQ either. So he runs around chasing. Nobody's with him. He gets tired, so tired that he can't even trap the ball. So when he wins it, his next touch is kicking it out of bounds or losing it. Like, literally everyone is used horribly. Even the guy who was trying.
Well, even Vlahovic, I mean, his body language is getting so poor. He pressed one time.
What am I thinking? Vlahovic, you know what they say about him? He cannot stop the ball.
Well, his touch could improve. He doesn't have the best touch.
Right now, he should play nervous. He's a nervous.
Yeah.
Well, that's why Di Maria threw that elbow, right? It wasn't really about the game. It was about the nerves that the whole team is coming in nervous, right? Like, no one's using a clear head. And we said this, I think it was Daddy or maybe it was one of you guys. You said, who's the leader on the team right now? Like, on the field for Juventus, we used to have Chiellini.
Danilo's the only one who shows heart,
He's the only one that cares about the fans. Before the game, he went to the section of the fans, Juventus fans, and went up to them and applauded them before the game. He's the only one that seems to care about the jersey.
Danilo's trying, but he's
not enough. That's not enough, Dan.
I know it's not enough. That's my point.
If you notice, the stadium is half empty.
Yeah, no, I'm saying
what does it tell you?
Yeah, I mean, I also think people like Bremer, right, who's getting crap. Like, people are saying, oh, he's not like the Bremer from Torino. I think the guy wants to play. He wants to win. He's trying. He's just mixed with a bunch of crap, playing out of position a little bit, right? And I just think, like, he's not the problem, but this just shows you, like, everyone's in decline.
Well, I think they all see it and they don't enjoy playing for
yes,
it. They really
100%.
To be fair, if you were on this team, how could you enjoy playing for this team?
Well, no,
but
Dan.
That's a problem, though.
But Dan, okay, so enjoying is one thing, right? But when I think it's gone beyond, I don't enjoy the way my team, my coach is tactics. I think this is literally them quiet quitting. I think they've given up and they hope he gets fired because they're not worried about embarrassing themselves. They're not worried about embarrassing themselves. They're not worried about, their own quality of play. They're just kind of like that. No one's running. No, there used to be where Juventus would react if they were down by a goal, and you knew the last 20 minutes they were going to put a ton of pressure on.
Nope.
There hasn't been a reaction all season. Yeah.
Calm down.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's shift to Allegri and have a little Allegri segment because I know Daddy wants to have his words on Allegri. But comments, because he's still having press conferences, which is surprising because he's got to face all those reporters, and I'm sure it's all negative.
Well, he's got to have press conferences.
No, some coaches don't do it. He does it. So one of the comments that he had made was, constantly blaming everything on injuries. And he's saying which and his words don't make sense because he says, when you think of the team, in the midfield, he was mentioning players like Pogba, Rabiot, Paredes, that's his midfield, ideally at the beginning of the season, which doesn't make sense because at the beginning of the season, Pogba's hurt and Paredes isn't even on the team. So you are lying right there. Like, that makes no sense at all to me. And, just the constant, always excuses, which is stupid to me. And, own up that your team isn't good and you're part of the problem.
Yeah, because, it doesn't matter that they're hurt. Yeah, it doesn't matter that they're hurt, but, you should still be able to fill players in.
Well, that's my point. The injury thing is not an excuse, right? We just said Milan and Calabria and maybe Hernandez is hurt, and Leao was out, right? People miss people. And by the way, you're playing freaking Monza.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What, do they have great champions on national teams all over the roster? No, they don't. They have Pessina, Sensi, who's old, and they got our player who could have been your player, but you gave him away, Rovella. So, you're just an idiot. Dude, it doesn't matter. And you have young kids. Sole, give him a chance. No. Moretti, no. Fagioli, no.
You know what? They loan these people for nothing.
Yeah.
It's their business.
And now they find the Pogba injury, Rabiot injured, Locatelli injured. Oh, you could use Rovella, right? You never put a Fagioli. You're not putting them. What are you there for?
So, obviously, the rumors now going, people saying hey, he, Allegri out, all this crap. I personally, I've been saying, I don't think he's going anywhere. He's got too many years left in his contract, and they're going to wait till the end of the season when there's more coaches available. But if you look at a team like Chelsea, who has the balls to fire Tuchel after 5-6 games because they're terrible. You wish, Juventus had that kind of,
And did you see what's his name's response? I think at Eva Benny when someone asked him about, are they going to fire another coach? He goes, are you going to pay the other guy?
No, but listen to me. Even let's just say there's no closure, right? No case in case, for him to be fired or to leave, like understanding. Now, what I'm saying, even you have to pay him 4 years, right? Which is 36 million, right?
It's a lot of money.
No, listen to me. But out. Now, if you you don't have to put a big name if it's not there.
But you're Juventus.
You can put Montero. That's it. If we come back to Juventus to get the 4th place, you make the money for champion,
So you're saying this year replace him with Montero, who's coaching the under 17 or 21?
Yeah, well, what she make?
And see if he can bring them to 4th place?
Why not?
The only problem is they just did that with Pirlo.
Well,
No,
Pirlo,
no,
yeah, I mean, he was supposed
And it
to.
was a disaster.
Pirlo, if I watch a different story. Pirlo,
Frank, you
Pirlo
say
today is before he was introduced to coach the under 23. All of a
Yeah.
sudden they put on the first
Pirlo was a little
You
different.
don't even
But
A
also-
little different.
you
But
say
now the reason is, oh, we're a coach, Primavera coach, Montero. He's on the payroll for nothing, right? Could be the change of coach give us something to this player.
yeah.
And they come the willingness to play. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you say Pirlo was a disaster, but
Because-
honestly,
because
I'd rather
the-
watch them.
Well, yeah, now from where we are.
Like, because the truth of the matter, if let's say 6, 7 people do not like him, the people that play, hey, that's a
Well,
that's
listen, I'm with Daniel. I don't think they're going to fire him because of the money, but I think if they fired him right now, everything's pointing to Allegri, right? Like the players don't like him. There's no tactics. That's why we suck. If you fired him and whoever you brought in, Montero, I don't care. The guy who sells hot dogs, I don't give a shit. Like bring in somebody and say, okay, players, he's gone. Now the spotlight's on you. Are you going to play for the shirt or are you going to jog around and walk? At 50%
Are hot
speed?
dogs popular in Italy?
No, whatever the fuck they sell. Mozzarella sandwiches. I don't know.
Sausage and peppers, maybe. I don't know.
But I do think until he's gone, it's an alibi, right?
I think overall, the whole thing. I think if we go with Montero and we fire this guy, it's the best thing.
It's
Me
not
too. I
happening.
agree.
Because we have nothing to
Especially,
lose.
but especially
Because
not
I
until
tell
at
you
least those
another
players
thing.
come back from injury.
I tell you, let's just say this guy finished the year, right? All right.
Mhm.
Why do you leave it to the next coach?
Well, the next coach is
Okay.
going to be out of the Champions League, and he's going to have a year to
Why do you
rebuild it.
leave? He left something from you.
No, because he doesn't even play the young kids.
Nothing. They have to restart again, to reshout everything.
They're going to have to anyway, because any coach that comes, is gonna want to make their own, next season put their own stamp on it. But I don't know.
They don't never play. They have to start again to teach them.
Yeah, I mean,
Even
it's
if
not.
the-
It's not like Juventus is going to be down forever. It's just a matter for how long are they going to be down for.
Well,
You
my
know, like,
worst case
it
scenario
could be
is
2 years, but they're making it into 10.
yeah,
You know?
that's the thing. My worst case scenario is they really going to let this guy play 3 out of his 4 years before they fire him because they don't want to pay him. I'm worried about.
I think this summer they're out of the Champions League first round. They get 8th place. I think the Italian Cup. They do nothing. There's no way this guy's surviving.
Well, let me ask you this:
Whoa.
the first round of the Champions League, is it all finished by the World Cup break?
It should be. I think
Nice.
Before the market
Nice.
opens.
Yeah.
Listen to me. Even if we get to fourth place by any check, get to the championship, this guy is out.
Yeah, I understand.
That's what you say.
We don't never play. We don't never game.
Oh, listen, if you're telling me they're gonna just make it 4th place and gonna keep him again,
Yeah, I think if
No,
they make 4th place,
come
they
on.
keep him again.
Wait,
100%.
so- In chat, Poot says, "Imagine an Italian eating a hot dog at a soccer game."
oh man, no. I think what's gonna happen is honestly, like, if they're gonna fire him at all, like this 2 week window, like they're not gonna do that, obviously.
No, it's not
I
happening.
think
But if they get knocked out of the first round of the Champions League, let's say come the World Cup break in November, they're
Nope.
literally they're
Nope.
15 points behind first place team.
No, I think that'll happen at the end of the season.
Well, at that point, you have a month. You could bring in a coach, and you could fire him and put in Montero and say, "Here, go practice with your team."
So let's go around the horn. Dan, do you think he finishes the season?
Yes, this season he's finishing with the team.
Frank, do you think he finishes the season?
no, I think they're fired.
Okay, so
Yeah,
Pietro says no.
I think he is.
Tonight,
I think he's going to.
They have the CDA or come se called the people. They are a SPA.
Yeah.
They have a meeting. They have to approve it. Bob Bill.
Listen, my
I
head
think-
tells me he doesn't make it, but I am so unlucky that I say he does make it.
Okay, so you and Dan say he plays he's the whole
Yeah,
season.
why the fuck not?
I'm saying he does. There's no chance in hell he finishes the season.
I think they will have a decision made saying, he's not going to be the coach next year, but I think he will finish out the season.
I don't.
No, I think it's going to. they're gonna say, all right, we pay you, whatever, and we put them on table with you. We don't trust you. You're not good. We know we're gonna be identity here.
It'll be
We can
interesting.
afford that.
Yeah. Also,
Listen,
if you're-
I have to say this is the right time to give us a guy like an interim coach like that because they're already at the bottom. There's nothing to lose. I mean, really, what do they think? They're going to be surprised when they go to Mackay Coffee or whatever the name of the team next team is, and they beat us 3-0 next time with the
With the
Allegri.
Israeli team.
really
They're
quickly,
gonna beat us.
if you're watching on YouTube, leave a comment. Let us know if you think he stays or not. I think he's gone, but
At the first game, who will play when he could come back? I think they have a big game.
Bologna, I think.
I don't know. They're gonna lose.
Bologna.
All right, let's go to the other games around the league. We'll talk about it. And you guys comments. Hold on, let me bring up the Chris. You want to read the scores or?
Yeah, we had Salernitana versus Lecce. Lecce won 2-1. We did Udinese. Well, do you want to talk about that game at all?
No.
No,
just-
it's the one that we tied 2-2, right?
But yeah, Salernitana tied Juventus and then loses to Lecce. So there you go. That's
Yeah. What else we got? We got Fiorentina.
Let me ask you a question real quick. Any chance Juventus, if Allegri plays the rest of the year, what are the legitimate odds that they go to Serie B?
Shut up.
No, I'm asking honest
No, because Frank,
question.
if you remember last year, the first 3-4 games, they were the bottom three. They're not the
I
bottom three
understand.
now. So.
I understand. What are the odds that if you play
Zero.
the whole
Frank,
year?
0.001%.
No, I would say
chance.
15%.
Get out of here.
I swear, I would put 15% that they go
Frank,
to Serie B.
Frank, get out of here.
All right,
Okay.
let me continue this really quickly. Fiorentina beat Verona 2-0. Econe and Gonzalez had a goal.
Yeah, so actually, Montipo made tons of saves in this game for Verona too. Like it could have been 6-0.
Yeah.
Fiorentina, who's been playing bad and lost their midweek game too.
Yeah.
It was good results.
What is this?
Just so you know, there's only 5 points between them and Verona. So
Empoli beat Bologna 1-0. I didn't watch this game at all.
Yeah, it was not a crazy good game. It was Motta's first game, and they played better, but Empoli got the goal.
Yeah. Spezia beat Samp 2-1. I don't know how Gianpaolo's still there.
Well, so if you didn't see this game, watch Sabiri's goal for Samp. It was beautiful. 35 yards out, far post shot. They had the lead, and then they lost.
Yeah. Atalanta, which we never talk about, they're tied for first. They beat Rome 1-0. Nice goal by Scalvini.
Yeah,
Well, so-
Roma deserve more.
That's what I wanted to talk about this game a little bit.
And
Rome
remember when I talk about Roma, whenever what I say about Zabala, what he made to Roma, per esempio, Roma played good, they deserve to not to lose with Atalanta. But that proved to you if the Bala, who is the Bala? It's the genius.
He got hurt. He got hurt in warm up, so he didn't play.
He didn't play, but he can do something and turn the game over your face.
Yeah, for sure.
Here's my thing. Couple things. Mourinho got a red card because he thought Zaniolo got fouled in the box and he flipped out and he got a red. I don't think it was a foul. Zaniolo was fouling him just as much as the defender was fouling him. But for me, yes, I know Atalanta's in first place, tied for first. Rome's the better team. Like if I had to pick between which team I was more scared to play, I would say I'd rather play Atalanta than Rome. Rome is a better team right now for me. They play better, and Abraham has to start scoring. If he could put away some of his chances, they could have easily won that.
Hey,
game.
what happened to Zapata?
Zapata's hurt.
Certo?
I think he's hurt, or he's still coming back from injury. So they've been playing the young Norwegian kid.
Yeah. All right. So
but Rome deserved better on that game than a loss.
yeah. So that was 1-0.
Did you see Atalanta score? Young guys, Calvin.
Yeah, it was a beautiful goal. 18 yards out in the lower right corner.
We're afraid to put it for Joe.
Sassuolo beat Torino 1-0. Alvarez's first goal.
Yeah, that was a really late goal from the Uruguayan kid, 21 years old, a corner, a cross where he had it in far post. It was nice finish.
Lats beat Cremonese 4-0.
That game wasn't close. Yeah.
Yeah. Milinkovic Savic though has got a bunch of assists this year, and he's
He has a bunch of assists every year, and he scores.
Immobile, how many goals he has already?
a lot.
Yeah. I will say the Torino Sassuolo game, Milinkovic Savic, the brother, had a ridiculous save near post. I don't know if you saw that, Chris. But he also makes some blunders with his feet because he's so confident with his feet, and then he gives the ball away so many times. Like he just needs to calm down with his passes.
It's like bonehead plays. It's pretty dumb.
But he made a really nice save in that game.
But he's huge, man. I would always think, like, as a forward, to try to score on that guy, like, he's fucking.
Well, you said you have to shoot it low. Shoot it low against
I know,
him.
but he's just, I don't know. That was all the results.
All right. Do you want to go to the table?
Sure. Let's see. At the top of the table, we got Napoli and Atalanta with 17 points each, followed by Udinese 16. Lazio and Milan both have 14. Rome 13. Inter 12. Juventus in what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8th place with 10 points. Tied with Torino. Ugh.
They have 2 wins in 9 games.
Bottom 3, we got Monza, Cremonese, and Samp.
2 wins in 9 games, and Udinese has won 5 games in a row. What the fuck? It's ridiculous. Makes no sense.
Eddie B, here we come.
Frank, they're 8 points. I don't think Monza's going to have 10 points all season.
Monza's going to pass them in a couple weeks. They're going to be tough with us this week.
Really quickly, there's no games this week because of the international break, but we did update our predictions. I think Frank has 6 points. I don't think he watches.
I
had 2 before it started.
When he played.
Italy, I don't know. I didn't look up the games because it's first of all, Italy's not in the World Cup. Second of all, it's Nation League. I couldn't give a shit about that. So I don't care who they called up. I don't care about their games at all. That team's dead to me right now.
Did Ronaldo get called up?
I don't care.
I don't know. Frank's got 6 points. Dan has 11. Pietro has 12, and I have 13. I
had 2 before this week.
We all suck.
You did good this week, Frank. You got 3 games right.
I had 3 games right.
How many points I have?
You have 12.
I got the Monza game, the Inter game. What other game did I get right?
You got the Milan game exactly right. You got Inter right, and you got Monza right.
Yeah, and I was so close to getting the score right on Inter the A's. They scored that last goal in a minute left.
We did have the Champions League stuff, though, Chris.
Yeah.
We don't have to go over it. We can just go over the results.
I was going to say Napoli beat Rangers 3-0. Milan beat Dynamo 3-1. Inter won 2-0, and Juventus lost to Benfica.
So all teams are going to go ahead except Juventus.
No, I don't think Inter's going through.
Me either.
I think of all the teams, Napoli has a chance to do something special this year. I really do. I think Napoli.
Listen, don't forget. Yeah, Napoli's done this many years.
I know,
but listen, I would love to see them win.
They have the dangerous team that can upset someone in a 2-game.
They've had it before.
But you don't think Milan can do that?
No, I think they can too. I just there's something about Napoli this year that I really, really like, and I was way off base on them.
Milan that's a little bit better.
So get 7 games in. If you had a choice between Napoli and Milan as the winner of the league, Frank, who do you say wins, Milan or Napoli? It's just 7 games in.
Just based on the 7 games?
Yeah.
I would say Milan a little bit of an edge if they're my only 2 odds because they won last year.
Okay, Chris, what about you?
Milan, Leao.
And what about you? You said Milan too?
Milan.
See, I'm on Napoli. I don't know why.
Napoli has to prove that they can actually do it. They've had so many chances and they've failed in over the last 15 years.
I'll tell you something. They both team, Milan and Napoli, they have the bench good too.
Yeah.
And every game, both of them, when they sub someone, you know what he's doing.
They got the tactics, the coaching, the team depth. It's the full package for both of them.
Competent coaching.
Chris, that it?
That's it.
Hey, go back to Juventus. When we do this, when we do the substitute, even if we change, if we put a 4 forward, they don't even know where to go.
What 4 forwards are you putting in for Juventus? What 4 forwards?
No, I think when we try to attack or something.
They don't know, and none of the guys know where
they don't even know where to go.
It's amazing.
I don't know. I don't want to talk about the team. I want to go to bed.
All right, let's do our predict. Are we picking now
Okay,
for 2 weeks?
well,
now
so
or whatever?
we're not doing predictions because there's no games this week, so we'll do predictions next week.
Yeah, next week I won't be on because I have a work thing.
All right, we'll get your predictions.
Make sure you send me the games.
Yeah, we will. So Italy plays at some point this week, and then probably the weekend too, right, Chris?
I have no clue.
They're probably like a
Many
Thursday and a
games,
Saturday.
2 Italy.
I'm not
One
sure.
or two.
I don't know.
At least 2. There's at least 2 games.
Who are they playing?
No idea. Don't care.
I didn't look into it because I don't care.
Nations League? Like I don't even understand why do we have to name it? Why can't they just be friendlies? I
they
respected it more when it was just called friendlies.
I don't know. Not sure.
Thanks for watching.
Yes, like, subscribe, follow
Yeah,
on
We
everything.
treat them as a friendly because
Oh, they're playing England.
we call
That's right.
England on the Friday the 23rd. And
Okay. Probably Monday. Probably.
And and Monday Hungary.
Yeah.
Great. I won't watch either.
2
Good night,
losses.
guys.
Good night.
Bye.
Allegri out.
Good
Bye.
Bye.
night.